Should I text him?
Am better watch there. Tabii geçen watch there. Not pictures of Bella, not try to go on my triple. Mahana Nush not the name, Koshka, Grandma Chilo. You know, I can't get a chippy. I do a kill with a chippy. 1 year to a K Masha Gomi. Ignacio Himatan, Albuquerque, LYT, and Knockout Ball. Good evening, everyone. My name is Albert Red, and I'm 17 years old. I go to Naka, and I'm a 11th grader, junior. And I'm originally from Ignacio, Colorado, and I live here in Albuquerque. Alright, so I got accepted for an internship here back in January, and I've only come here every Thursdays, and I've been here for a total of 15 days. And I remember my first days being here, and Armando introduced me to everyone. He gave me kind of like a floor plan of the place, and it was very updated with everyone's names and all the computer monitors and everything. So I really got to know everyone's names, and even though most of you probably don't even know my name till now. And the first day when I came here, I went around to everyone and introduced myself and talked to them and asked them what they did here and do they like it and everything. And probably one of the most memorable ones I had was with Reza. He's not here though. So he took the time to get away from his work, and he sat down and talked to me about. He showed me kind of like one of those big books with plans and everything, and it told me about some stuff and everything, what it meant. So that was very memorable. And later that day, I got introduced to Logan, and he showed me. He also took the time to sit down and talk to me, and he was basically the one that got me started on my first day with everything, and told me he showed me the bubble diagrams, and he gave me the project of just a small project of like what my dream house would be and everything that I would consist inside of my dream house. And so I wasn't always a good drawer, so I had bubblegram diagrams, and they were just basically showing me where some rooms would be, where everything would connect together, and that was very helpful for everything from the beginning. And so that was what he started me off with, and then later that day I got started off. I started to draw more of like the boxes in the rooms, with how they would be with the lengths and everything from wall to wall, and what I wanted, how big I would want the room, or how tall I would want it. So all that was put into one day. It was a very exciting day for me. I learned a lot just in one day, and I started off in the scale of 1/8 of an inch, and then later that week, or the next week, is when Logan introduced me to the architecture scale, the ruler thing, and I saw it before in my life as younger, because my dad used to be in construction and plumbing and everything, so I kind of knew what it was, but I didn't know how to use it. So he showed me what it was used for, and it was basically to kind of like use it to make like any plans from bigger or smaller, using the length and everything and changing it from scales to 1/8 to like 1/4 of an inch. So I got to change my scales to 1/8 of an inch. I think made it bigger, I'm not too sure, or 1/4 of an inch, and I made everything bigger inside of my drawings, and I worked on that for maybe a day or two, And then another week later, I got handed over to Crystal, and she saw I was done with my walls and everything and the planning, so she made me do the almost interiors and the furnitures. So here I traced over my walls and everything, and I put up some furnitures, like in the living room. I have like a sofa, a couple chairs, a little coffee table and everything. And so I did that for probably half the day, just messing around with different stuff. She gave me a book that had furniture in it and all the dimensions and everything of it, so that really helped out. And I also got to learn about like different rules about interior design, like there should be at least like a 3-foot distance between things in a room, so everyone feel comfortable walking through it. Just simple things like that. So my house consists of two floors. I have a second floor right here, and my first floor, I didn't really get to put a lot of finish in it, so here's my second floor. I can't see it. And next thing I had to do was to make sure that everything inside of my house would, all the walls would line up, because it's a 2-story house. So I would have so I traced over my first floor plans, and then I would trace over my second floor plans, and I was given a task to make sure that when I put them over the two, that they would, the walls would line up together and it would be able to work as a house. So the first floor, I didn't change nothing about it, and on my second floor, I had to do multiple drafts of it. So I had a first draft right here, and then I made a total of 3 different drafts. I made a second draft about how the second floor should go over. Here's the second draft, and then I had my final draft, which was basically just me flipping over the second one. And all the walls lined up and everything, so I was pretty excited about that. And ready to move on to the next stage. And then later, I was given the task to put in like a ceiling design and everything the way that I would want it. So this was probably the fun part for me, making the ceilings. So everything in here, I had my living room, ceiling plans, really stuck out and everything. I had the bathrooms. The dining room is probably my favorite one that I did, and I'll show you guys in a minute. And I did every room in my house. Probably the most ones I'm proud of has to be my living room, the dining room, and the master bedroom. So that's what I got to do. Got to draw. I had to put different elevations of them, so if I wanted something to stick out, and it would look very nice, 3D. And then next, I started doing my, kind of like the drawings of my house, of how it would look like on the outside. So with my floor plans, I basically just drew a line down on another sheet of paper, and then I would have them all right here, and wherever the walls would like stick out or something, I would draw maybe a line right there to show that it's where a wall curves in or something, or anything. And then I had to give them a wall height. So I made all my walls just 10 feet tall, And on my second floor, they're also 10 feet tall, so it would just add up. So I had the views of the house and how it would look like, to me. I made one for every angle of the house. They're probably my best drawings so far. And that was probably the last thing that I did when I was working with the sketch papers and drawing the house. And so next, I was started on the computer with the Revit 2013, and that was probably the fun part of this. So